Jeff Moody, MD here. We're back for the weekly burnout recovery tips. I like to call it talking about burnout. What I like to do with these little quick tips is I give you some pithy, and that's not me as a urologist lisping my words, but some very focused help and some insights into burnout on a weekly basis. So today, this week, what I'd like to talk about is the emotions of burnout. And let me tell you, I think I went through the gamut of them, and our clients go through many different kind of presentations as far as burnout. Burnout really can be a chameleon. It can present in a number of ways. You can have outbursts or anger. Some people are quiet, they're sad, maybe sometimes they're bad decision making, there's risk-taking behaviors, there may be substance abuse, there may be suicidal ideation or suicidal attempts, or unfortunately successful suicide. So there can be many negative emotions that are manifested in those physical ways, but anger, fear, frustration, depression, anxiety, despair, guilt, hopelessness, powerlessness, and again, suicidal ideation. I think many times these emotions come as a result of being put into a situation maybe not of your own ideal design or creation, or even of your own choosing. And I know many physicians, more than 50% statistics say, are now employed, and I do believe that loss of control and that loss of autonomy, it can really lead to or fuel a lot of burnout, where you're told how many patients to see and how long you can spend with a patient, how many RVUs you have to do to make X, Y, or Z, and somehow those calculations never seem to work out in your favor. But I think the key thing about emotion with burnout is obviously it's very impactful. It can be very damaging, but I think emotions are also an indicator. And I think emotions are trying to tell you something, that something is not right. And I think, again, the first step in the 12-step process is realizing that you have a problem. And I think emotions are your flare, your signal flare, telling you that there's an issue. I think you should be very mindful of what your emotions are telling you and what are the things that trigger those emotional responses in you. And those are probably the first things you want to work on as far as burnout. And the other thing, from an emotional standpoint, I think if it's humanly possible, you want to try to divorce your perception and your reaction of emotions from the emotion itself. So yes, it's okay to be angry because there can be some frustration, but I think you need to determine what your response will be, so that is having more control and more insight into that, that you are in fact angry, instead of just being a hot reactor like I have been previously. And also you want to determine what is the magnitude of the response that you're going to have to those emotions. I think you want to ask yourself why you are feeling the way you do. This is really the start of untangling or deconstructing burnout for many people, is finding what are the roots of those really frustrating emotional issues. So emotions help us, they guide us, they can be damaging to us, but I think the better we understand them, the better we can maybe give some perspective, and give some perspective on your reaction to emotions will be very helpful and a good first step on your recovery from burnout. So take that to heart, and please also get the help you need. Jeff Moody, MD, jeffmoodymd.com, jeffmoody.com. The Doctor is Burned Out, Physician's Guide to Recovery is my book. It's on Amazon. We have a great turbocharged 6-week course, burnout recovery for you, if you really want to speed through recovery from burnout. And the bottom line is always just get the help that you need. If that's with us, great. If that's with other organizations, that's great. So please always remember, burnout recovery is for you.